Story 1. First boyfriend. It turns out I had a mental illness that required medication. Thank you for being sweet, supportive, kind, and patient with me. I have nothing but praise for you. To be fair, I have shared this with your mother and siblings and am 99% sure it got back to you. Second boyfriend. I will never forgive you. Story 2. I would say thank you. After he broke up with me, I went through a strange period of wanting to win him back. I reached out to a mutual friend and offered to help her with a charity project, hoping she would put in a good word for me with my ex, and perhaps he would change his mind about me. This charity project led me to Africa, where I met my husband. If I hadn't been rejected so harshly, I wouldn't have reached out to that mutual friend, and I never would have found myself at the place and time where I met the love of my life. If I had the chance, I would explain this chain of events to him and thank him from the bottom of my heart for ending our relationship. Story 3. Not really an ex, but an ex-situationship. I hope one day you realize that your behavior does impact others. Story 4. You hit that wall hard. Some context. She was literally a beauty queen, but over time, her appearance became as unattractive as her character. When we separated, I was devastated. In retrospect, I see that it was a blessing to be free of her. Story 5. I apologize for my past actions and behavior. I am working towards self-improvement. Our relationship has been challenging, but I can only take responsibility for my actions. Story 6. I'm not boring. The history of pre-Columbian Mesoamerican agriculture is fascinating. I'm glad your new boyfriend is more attuned to you. The Grinch was a good movie, you were right. I hope your guinea pig is okay. Additionally, I faked my orgasms. Story 7. I ended the conversation because your husband unexpectedly showed up at my hotel. Perhaps you should have informed me that you were not actually divorced or even separated. It seems you were looking to be unfaithful. Story 8. I hope you now realize your best friend was actually not a good person and your life is better without him. I have found the love of my life, and I hope you do too. Story 9. You were right. I was more in love with you than I even knew. I'm glad that you were in my life. It was fuller for having known you. Story 10. I'm sure you think I have cheated on you, and that's hurtful. I didn't. I just wanted to move on. Story 11. I would like to thank him for ending our relationship in college. I thought he was the one, my forever partner. After the breakup, I lost my way and made many poor choices. But it all worked out because I met a wonderful man, and I will be celebrating 26 years of marriage next month. He is on his 4th marriage. Thank goodness for unanswered prayers. Story 12. If I had been asked this a year ago, I would have had a long list of things. Now, not a single thing. Story 13. There is only one woman I truly consider an ex, and I have already expressed everything that needed to be said. At this point, we are on good terms with each other and can have simple conversations. However, whenever she crosses a line, I remind her of the decisions she made and her current situation. Story 14. Nothing. As soon as our daughter goes off to college, I hope we won't speak very often. Not that we ever speak in person since we both got remarried. Story 15. Your body and the way you use it are perfect, beyond anything I could have hoped to experience before we met. I have an injured spinal cord. You knew this because you have seen me temporarily paralyzed from the waist down before. I wish every day that you could understand that my inability to climax and need for medication are due to my injured spine and have absolutely nothing to do with you. You are forever beautiful inside and out. It was never your fault. Story 16. I wish we could have connected on a deeper level and been honest with each other instead of you cheating and lying when you lost interest in me. I really want to talk to you about us, but it seems you are not sincere or interested. I wanted to end our communication because I know you have many chats, especially on Reddit and Telegram. Seeing your comments on explicit content on Reddit has helped me realize that you are not the person I fell in love with at the beginning. Story 17. Thank you for the good and challenging memories. No matter how much they affected me, you will always be a part of my life journey. I wish you well. Story 18. Obviously, we weren't meant to be, but I'm sorry for the way I treated you when I was upset. Take care. Story 19. I would try to neutralize things so we could be relaxed again. I don't want to go back, but being friends would be nice. I could invite her to the cookout from time to time. Story 20. Thank you for being yourself and showing me what I do not want in a partner, as well as everything I should not have to do in a relationship to maintain it. You have helped me identify red flags in potential relationships and recognize how truly wonderful my fiancée, who will soon be my wife, is. It's like the saying, if you never have a bad day, how can you recognize the good ones? Story 21. I would give up my whole life to return the 5 years I took from you. 5 years of abuse, manipulation, and gaslighting. 5 years of poor communication and rudeness. 5 years of selfishness and not asking how you truly feel. 5 years of controlling and possessing you. I am truly sorry. Words cannot express the remorse I feel. Story 22. My ex finally moved away from me 2 weeks ago, so everything has been lovely. We have been broken up for over a year, and he moved across the street from me when we separated. Story 23. It depends on which ex I'm friends with. One is still connected by family. There is really only one who wouldn't receive a very nice reception. Story 24. I don't really consider myself to have an ex, but I do have a situation where I scared someone off by being too intense. I would probably apologize. I wasn't thinking very clearly. Story 25. I say, hey, how's it going? How's the wife and family? Are we all going to New Orleans this year or the Outer Banks where Blackbeard was killed? I have the opportunity to speak freely with my former partners whenever I choose. I have excellent taste in men, they have great taste in women, and we all enjoy similar adventures. We just didn't work romantically. If someone isn't worthy of friendship, then you shouldn't date them. Sometimes it takes a while to realize they aren't worthy of friendship, but if you don't like them as a person, don't be with them. Story 26. I sincerely apologize for not being able to be the partner you needed or to make the changes you deserve. Story 27. I am sorry that the breakup hurt and was unexpected, but it was the best decision for both of us. You were not going to change, and I needed to move on and grow. I regret not speaking to you since that day in 2010 and that your dad has passed away. I would have liked to see him one last time. I am pleased you are married and have children. Goodbye. Story 28. Lori Hovand, please forgive me. I take full responsibility for the failure of our relationship. I've never stopped hoping that somehow we could mend our relationship. Story 29. I am sorry you have carried grief and mistrust of others for more than 20 years because of the circumstances of our divorce. I cheated. I am sorry that you had to correct our daughter whenever she reminded you of me. I am sorry that you were trapped in that moment, and if I could do anything, I would free you from that pain. I am sorry. Story 30. You are the most deceitful person I have ever known. You didn't just lie. You built a life on lies, playing with the hearts and trust of 3 women who deserved honesty. You cheated and manipulated, and when the truth came out, you tried to gaslight instead of owning up. That's not just cowardly. It's cruel. I see you for what you are now. Not a wounded man, but a selfish one hiding behind his past to avoid responsibility. You don't just hurt people. You destroy trust and then act like the victim. I will never again be part of your lies. And one day, when the weight of your own actions finally catches up with you, I hope you feel the full truth of what you've done. Not to me, but to every person who gave you their heart. Story 31. It was complex post-traumatic stress disorder and a difficult childhood, which should explain a lot, especially my anxious avoidant attachment style. Story 32. I do not have any ill feelings toward them, so I will probably just ask how they are doing. Story 33. Hey, how is your husband and child? Are they doing well? How is your career going? I don't hold any animosity towards her. We were good friends before we started dating, so I genuinely hope she is doing well. Story 34. I have one thing to say. It should have been you, and I mean that with all my heart. Thank God I will never have contact with you again. You were not missed. You were never worth my kindness. You were never him, you never could be. You were worse. I never loved you. You misjudged my kindness. I was friends with you because I didn't love you. I never had any romantic feelings for you. I can't remain friends with someone I ever actually loved. You overplayed your hand. You aren't even worth these words. I spend no energy thinking of you, and I couldn't care less what life you live. Do you? Don't ever think our paths will cross. I won't bother to see you in court or ever care about what happens to you. You aren't worth my time to show up. You aren't that important. The other thing I want to say is thank you. What you have done for me in death is greater than what you ever did for me in life. I'm grateful for you. Story 35. I have not dated many people, so I am somewhat limited. I am married now. Nothing much has really happened. She later got engaged and became pregnant by her fiancé's best friend. Looking back, it is not surprising. She seems to be living in a fairly undesirable place along with all that comes with it. She ended our relationship based on the advice of her cousin, who had previously attempted to sexually assault her and was constantly trying to seduce her. Somehow, she couldn't see the agenda. I wish she had ended our relationship sooner. Another girl asked me out, and I turned her down because I was dating my ex. I deeply regret turning her down. She was a significantly better person overall. Story 36. I forgive you. We live in the same town, so I am sure I could create the opportunity to tell her this. But I don't want to. Forget her. Story 37. I wish her the best in life. Even though she broke my heart, she will always be the one I wanted to build a life with. During our time together, she truly made me happy until the end. Story 38. About 30 years ago, an ex-girlfriend from nearly 20 years prior somehow obtained my phone number and called. By then, I was happily married with a couple of kids, and she wanted all four of us, my wife, I, and herself and her husband, to get together for an afternoon. Thanks, but no thanks. Years later, I saw on Facebook that she had divorced the man she had left me for. Story 39. I am really happy you found a good match, and I am proud of the person you have become, even if I was not there to see you bloom. Story 40. I have the chance. We're friends and still text. The breakup was amicable. We just weren't right for each other. He is still a great guy and is going to make someone very happy someday. Story 41. I apologize and want to express how sorry I am. She truly means a lot to me. She will always be the one that got away, and she made me genuinely happy, secure, trusted, and loved. I had many issues I was still working through from past relationships, trauma, and my own anxiety. Story 42. How is it that you got married just 2 weeks after we broke up? I'm thinking we weren't exclusive. That was over 40 years ago, and they are apparently still together. Story 43. To those I still consider friends, I apologize for any frustration I caused. I truly regret it. To those I am not on good terms with, I have nothing to say. They are not worth my time. Story 44. We both triggered each other's wounds. I tried to get you to talk to me about it, but you went silent and became unreachable. Another trauma wound was triggered for me. I still hope you reach out. I hope you are working on yourself as hard as I am working on myself. I'm still holding space while healing at the same time. Story 45. I think if he messaged me again, I would say the same thing I said last time. How dare you? I would reiterate that I still cannot have a proper connection with anyone because of how badly he affected me. I lost our baby, we got back together, and then he dumped me for a nice, prettier, taller, younger girlfriend. I was 3 years older and apparently too old. I wish I could move on from him, but nobody compares to him. Unfortunately, I think about him every day, and I would be both devastated and anxious if he contacted me again. He knows this, so he stays out of my life. It's probably the best thing he could do for me, to be honest, even though I miss him daily. I would react intensely like I did back in October after 6 months of no contact from him. How dare you? I miss you. I hate you. I still love you. I wish it was me. I wish we didn't go through what we went through. I'm sorry, but you lied to me when you told me you loved me. I hope I never hear from him again, but I secretly wish every day that I could talk to him again. Story 46. Nothing. I don't think about them. I don't care about them and would expect them to feel the same about me. I am very happy with my wife, who is the perfect person for me. Story 47. Is there a possibility of receiving the 16 years of child support that was never paid? Actually, I wouldn't lower myself to make that request. Story 48. I hope you realize that I truly loved you and didn't understand how to show you that other than having the best experiences together. I'm sorry for all the things I thought were minor but made you feel like I'd never understand. Story 49. I hope you are doing well. You deserve the best. I miss you. I hope you are happy, fulfilled, and smiling every day. You bring light to a dark world. Isn't it past your time? Story 50. It's not worth my breath, but if I had to, I would say, I know you cheated. I know you blamed me, but it was your issue. I wish I had gotten out earlier. Story 51. It's been 20 years. Please stop contacting me on Facebook and stop following me on LinkedIn. Tell your husband to keep his distance, as I am not interested. Story 52. Presence feels absent and distant, and I yearn for it. Craving you drains me, knowing you're not here, as if I'm breaking myself for someone while I rewatch our memories like a movie, expecting a different outcome. I felt you in some way. I felt your skin and weight on me, comforting. A huge rush of sadness and happiness engulfed me, and tears flowed along with uncontrollable apologies. I see you in my mind, even if I'm not with you physically. I wish you were here, and I hope you think of me during moments of happiness that we shared. Can we have that again, please? A fresh start for us would mean so much. Everything still aches, especially when I need you the most and you're not here. I want to feel you physically. I miss my home and comfort. I want everything you gave me, the softness. I want to hear you say, I love you, once more. I want to hear you laugh and listen to you rant. I want you, all of you. I just want you again, please. Story 53. I just called my ex after 4 years of no contact yesterday. We had a very stressful relationship, and I was her first everything. When things finally ended between us, we were on and off for 2 years after our initial breakup. I went through some low moments and said things to her that were very personal and truly awful. We talked for about an hour, and I was able to apologize. She accepted my apologies, and even though she had nothing to be sorry for, she also apologized because she's a sweet person, and that's just how she is. I didn't tell her and won't, but being able to apologize and have a good farewell with her meant more to me than I can express and brought me a lot of peace of mind. Story 54. I'm sorry, but it's been a year. You can get a replacement for your game. It's less than $60 at this point. I've checked. If you really wanted to talk to me, you could have just said that. Calling me after I blocked and unblocked you to make sure you're okay, only for you to say you want your $40 game back, is not considerate. Story 55. Being unable to fully receive your love eventually taught me that I didn't love myself. Now that I do, I feel so grateful for our time together. I learned so much with you and perhaps even more afterward. We were never meant to be together forever, but I cherish having you as my first love. I wish you and your family nothing but the best. Good people deserve good things. Story 56. For one, I wouldn't say anything. For the other, I love him very much as a friend. He is an incredible, respectful man and has a special place in my heart. Story 57. Nothing. Every time I see him, I go into an intense silent rage. I wish I could punch him, but I have nothing to say to him. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.